Okay. Hey, there we are, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. Super Milesio here for a brand new series, Tears of the Kingdom Grand Master Mode. Oh man, I'm so excited for this. If you haven't seen any of my Breath of the Wild Grandmaster Mode, I explain more in detail what's going on here. I'll briefly explain it again, but I'm not going to spend too much time because, as you can see, well, let's just say that I know I'm not going to go to bed at a reasonable hour tonight. I'm supposed to go to bed at 10 p.m. if I'm to get an adequate amount of sleep, since I'm currently getting up at around 5:45 every morning to make it to this job that I'm doing right now for the next, I guess only really the next 4 weeks, which is crazy. It's already whizzing by. Whizzing, just like I'm not going to go there. But it's already past 9, and I'm confident that I'm going to be playing this for at least 2 hours tonight. Perhaps more, because I am just so excited to get into this. We did Breath of the Wild, and we beat the entire game, and it took us about 25 hours worth of gameplay, spread across 8 streams. As you can see, I've already put... Now, this number is not accurate. For some reason, it deleted all of my Breath of the Wild hours. There was a lot, trust me, across this account and another one, actually, totaling at least 500, I'm positive. This, right here, 145, this is the only file I've ever played in Tears of the Kingdom. It was my original file. I played it a lot for about a month, then I played it a little more sparingly for the next few months, and then I kind of stopped. That is the only time I played Tears of the Kingdom. So I am so excited to get back into this. And I'm not going to delay this anymore. I was just getting things set up, getting the Switch 2 upgrade downloaded. We are ready to go. New game, save file 2, a brand new file, and we're going to get into... Oh, that noise. I'm already so excited. Man. I can't even stop smiling. Like the last time I did this, I've never done the intro. Except for that, my very first time, which was also streamed. Breath of the Wild, I've played the plateau like dozens of times because I've practiced speed runs all the time. This is the only time I'm doing the Sky Islands other than my first playthrough. And then I wasn't wearing headphones. So I get to experience all this like it's going to be like as fresh as it can be. And with the Switch 2 upgrade. Oh my gosh. Oh my word. And these cutscenes are sharp. Even the upgraded Breath of the Wild, the cutscenes were not as sharp. And I am going to turn on Zelda notes. Not yet, though, because I figure there's not going to be anything till I get actually playing the game on the Sky.
We've been descending for a while now. These tunnels are deeper than I thought.
And I'm gonna skip as little as possible, because unlike Breath of the Wild, I actually think I need to experience this story again. Breath of the Wild I did as well, but I could skip some stuff that I've seen a million times. Or we got some stalagtite uvulas right here. Oh my word. So, okay, we can pause. We can't open the map because we don't have any sort of slate. Makes sense. I'm going to stop saying how excited I am because it's going to get redundant, but just suffice it to say, like...
People have been falling ill after coming into contact with the gloom drifting through these caverns.
And once we get going and doing the more monotonous stuff, not monotonous, but like... I'm going to talk about something that I'm actually looking forward to talking about. It's a video that I watched today that I have a lot to say about. Alright, we had a viewer for a second and then lost him. That's alright.
We do not know what waits below, so we need to be ready for anything. But I know I'll be okay with you, Link.
Thank you, Zelda.
Let's go solve this mystery.
Thank you for that. And now, I do remember she's going to interrupt us like 20 more times, which can get annoying. No paraglider, interesting. We got our Master Sword and a full 30 hearts, which is... Uh-oh. Yes, it's all coming back to me now. Master Sword's glowing. That's never a good sign. The Master Sword. I thought about changing the voice acting to Japanese, but I don't know. I really want to hear Matt Mercer's performance as Ganondorf, and that's really the main reason. Plus, I am like also kind of preparing to play Age of Imprisonment when it comes out later this year, and I kind of want to keep it consistent since like my first playthrough I always use the English voice acting, um, you know. So there we go. And here we go, Zelda. I'm gonna let Zelda interrupt me. You know, just I don't actually think I have a choice, but that could be fun to talk about. What I expect or hope from Age of Imprisonment. I'll talk about that eventually. Swing sword. Hello, Zelda. Zelda is unfazed by this, which is great. She's probably seen it all the time. Yes. These carvings. It is going to also be a little jarring to get back into the Ultra Hand stuff, or I should say the Ultra Hand abilities, or I think, are they all called Ultra Hand abilities? I forget. Ultra Hand is a specific ability, but I forget what you call all of them. Just the hand abilities. And no more whistle sprint. That breaks my heart. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and map GR. This is how you do that. You hold the home button, and I'm going to map GR to the B button. And since I can't do the whistle sprint, it's kind of pointless to do that. I don't know what else to use it for, though. So I'll figure that out later. But I do want to be able to sprint with that trigger. And we got some Keeson. Oh, and guys, spoiler alert. These rocks here. Zelda, it was 3 bats, okay? I've literally fought a giant pig cloud. I think I'm going to be okay. I stole that phrase from the video that I watched today, which we'll talk about. Now look at these murals and those rocks over there, which we don't end up getting to explode until the very end of the game. Well, I guess you could go there early, maybe. But you see
It was a conflict between allied tribes and someone only ever referred to as the demon.
You see the rest of the story. Oof, gets me every time. I think that's so cool that you see that right here, and then you come back late in the game and you uncover the rest of the story. It's so brilliant, and like you really have to remember that you've seen all this before.
This is similar to the statues we saw earlier. A Zonai. And these figures.
It's one of the rare moments. I mean, there's a lot of actually moments in here where they let you figure something out for your own. That's kind of the whole point of the open world thing. But it's brilliant, like wordless storytelling. They don't spell it out like, hey, here's this. I mean, Zelda's kind of doing that right now, which can get annoying. What's up, Kyle? You've joined at just the right time. This is going to be so fun. Kate should hopefully be joining at some point.
Then the gods mentioned were the Zonai. They must have forged a relationship with the Hylians of that time, working together to establish
Dome.
the kingdom of Hyrule.
You know it.
This figure, he seems to be stealing something of incredible power from the young kingdom.
Yeah. The young kingdom.
This aligns with what I've read during my studies.
You read about that, really?
And then this, it shows the Demon King.
Yeah. And then you didn't recognize him when you went back in time. I mean, to be fair, it's pretty illustrative. It's not photorealistic. But I mean, come on, man. Those must be moblins.
This mural must be the Great War recorded in the royal histories.
Look at that. That's so cool. I want that on my wall.
The imprisoning war and the events that led up to it. Look, this is a huge discovery.
Whoa. Yo, when I get my own house, I'm making the wall look like that.
All right then. Now to use this invention of Purai's. I'm glad I didn't leave it behind.
Hopefully the stream is still working. It says error, so it does that sometimes. I'll just let it chill out.
Looks like the rest of the murals are obscured.
Yep, and we will unobscure them later in the game.
Just what is this place?
What is
We'll
this
find more
place?
answers farther ahead.
I'm pretty sure I said that in my first stream as well.
Let's keep moving deeper.
Just can't help it. Alright, that was pretty cool. And here we go. We'll be able to uncover this later. That'll be fun. I already know what's under there, but I'm not telling you. Come on, stream. Work for me. Okay, there we go. It's back to excellent. Oh, here we go, y'all. See all this nasty little gloom powder? Not powder. Gloom gas. Holy crap. And there it is. Now look, this game already looked incredible. Like, even better than Breath of the Wild. But the upgrade. Man. Let's proceed to this giant, ominous spiral of... Yes, but please, let's just watch our step, you know? Let's approach this ominous corpse that's leaking corrosive magic gas. Oh my, see, it's at this point that you run, okay? You don't stand there, pick up the, what is it? Secret stone? I have a secret stone necklace. Should I wear that for this stream? I'm gonna wear it. You know what? Screw it. I'm wearing it. It's my secret stone. And there he is, y'all. Crunch. You tell him, Link. And there you go. Yes, Kate, thank you. I'm fixing it right now. Look at that shard.
Was that the sword that seals the darkness? The blade that shatters so easily against my power cannot save you from me. Zelda. You who carries that fragile sword.
How did you know?
Placed his
It could have been any 4 letters.
and that was all you could do.
I'm sorry, guys. What a horrible time for my camera to do this. Oh my gosh. Guys, I'm sorry to interrupt this epic moment. I just have to fix this stupid camera. What power does my secret stone amplify? That's a good question. I'm going to say my ability to radically overthink everything. So there you go. Secret ones? What are you talking about? Look at that guy. He's T-posing. Oh, dude. When you see that, bro, it's brutal. Look at his arm, man. It's, oh. You only get to see it for a second, but that's just... And there she goes. Ugh. Raru. Yum. Oh, this just... Oh, gosh. The music. That's like... I'm not even like... Because you know how much music touches me and impacts me. Like how important music is to me. It connects to such a deep part of my soul that like... When I think about Tears of the Kingdom, all it takes is I imagine the music, and that takes me back immediately. If I ever need a reminder that it's my favorite Zelda game, it's... Man, Like, it retains so much of Breath of the Wild's character, but it adds such a... I wish I could articulate, like, the culture that it's drawing from. It's uniquely its own thing, but it's... I don't know. Put a wet paper towel on it. On what? On Link's arm? Bro. You stupid. This needs more than an ice pack. This is straight up amputation and replacement. Look at that. Oh, that's so cool. Oh. And here we are, under the tree, under the tree. With those interesting nails.
Link, finally you wake.
Yep. He has different boxers this time with actual laces.
I've heard a great deal about you from
Can you imagine having to unlace your boxers every time you need to, you know, unleash?
Your wounds were severe. I am relieved to see you escape death. Your arm,
Okay.
however, was beyond saving. I had to replace it, lest the injury endanger you further.
Well, it's luckily that was all that was left of you. Happened to be your right arm. Imagine if he used his left arm. He was like, oh, sorry, Link. Oh, well, I had an arm floating around, but it was the wrong arm. So, you know, you got a left arm on your right arm. Sorry. And Link's like, oh, no problem, thanks. And here we go. Look at that, y'all. Here we are. Here we go. Here we go. The creepiest Master Sword Get theme in the world. Listen to it. Imagine you lose your dominant hand and you're just cooked. Oh, yeah, it happens to people, believe it or not. One whole damage, guys. What's up? Hexo5 does a weird little X pose. Okay, so we got this random stick. Okay, we got some clothes up in here. I honestly don't remember anything really about this except we're gonna dive into somewhere. Look at that. Hi, Link. Touch it. Touch it. Ugh. And we get these weird green worms flying around. Okay. Thank you for Kyle for greeting everybody with their full name. Man. Okay. So I'm gonna get like to the actual Sky Island and then we'll talk about what I experienced today, which is a 3-hour video entitled I Hate Tears of the Kingdom from a creator named Skitty Bitty. And I feel like I need to talk about it and it'll be fun. And here we go. Let's jump. Ah, Link, no, what? Okay. That wasn't that scary. This is about when I discovered that the whistle sprint didn't work anymore in my original playthrough. And I think it actually punishes you by making your stamina deplete faster. Like, look at this. I'm going to try and run. Okay. Cool. And I'm trying whistle sprint. Look at that. It's really sad, isn't it? I use that a lot. Where's Magnesis? Shut up, bro. Shut up. Ain't nothing. Ain't none of it. And look, there you go. This water looks delicious as ever. And here we get the splash, y'all. The splash that they added. Watch. Ooh. Ooh. Ah. Nice. And here we go. Our first chest. So cool. I love the green worms that just fly out of everywhere. And there we go. So guys, I'm going to briefly explain my Grandmaster rules, Grandmaster Mode, which is honestly kind of unnecessary. I could just call it Master Mode since Tears of the Kingdom does not have a baked-in Master Mode, very sadly, and just baffling to me. But it doesn't. Check the description. The main rule is that, imagine if that was shallow water and you're just cooked, Link loses his other arm. Well, that's interesting. Was I supposed to get another armor in there? I didn't see anything else. The main thing is that I cannot pause the game during combat. If I'm in the middle of a fight if an enemy sees me at all, I cannot fast travel away, I cannot eat, and I cannot change clothes. That's going to be the real kicker. And I also can't use this Sage abilities except for Tulin, similar to how I allowed Rivali's Gale, just because it's too convenient not to. And here we go, guys. Are you ready? Are you ready for the view? Oh my god, bro. Yes, and let's dive, and it's going to play an amazing theme. Here we go. Forget about it, bro. There's the light dragon. I mean, man. He's falling for quite a while. Oh, I'm hearing so much more with the headphones. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is it. My favorite Zelda game. Let's dive, Link. Let's dive. And here we are. That's epic. And Link, I hope you don't get tetanus. Is that what you call it? Lockjaw from that rusty old sword scraping on your back. Oh, I can't use my slate yet. We'll have to look at that dragon. Look at this, bro. Kate, if you say wow, Tears of the Kingdom, or fill in the blank, I'm gonna delete you. This is beautiful. I love the look and the music of the Sky Islands. I've already talked about why, like, I think the plateau is just a perfect intro area, and I understand why people say that the Sky Islands are not as perfect, just because of I don't know. There's a lot of factors going into it. I still love it. I mean, how can you not look at this and just be like, okay, so I think this is probably gonna break very quickly. Yeah, there we go. So that's broke. And look at that, guys. That was the main thing. Oh, there's still a tiny bit of lag. You missed a shirt, I think. Where was it? It was somewhere in that cave. I'll have to go back and get it. Oh, well. We'll just be just a skirt for now. There's still a little bit of lag. There was a lot more, though, when you'd select items in Tears of the Kingdom before. Kill that construct there. So we broke another branch. Just gonna... And again, guys, like, unlike the plateau, I haven't even rewatched my streams in a long time. Like, I really don't remember a ton about specifically what I'm supposed to do. But of course, oh, the shirt isn't there. It takes a bit to find it. Okay, good. Look at that. What was I saying? That's such a quotable line. But I think just knowing the mechanics of it, the fact that I've spent such a long time playing the game, will help me get through it quicker, but I still don't really know what I'm doing, which is fine. And honestly, I kind of prefer that. It's more exciting. What? Link, do it! Oh, I have to talk to this guy. Now, in the original trailer for this game, they showed a close-up of this guy, and he looked huge, but he's not that big. He's just a normal-sized construct. But I imagine this big frog boss, you know? Like, look at that. Just from that, he looks really big. I mean, he's bigger than Link, but... I haven't played this yet. That's a new contraction you just invented, Kate. Yeah, I know, and it's crazy that this is how you're experiencing it for the first time, is through me, which I don't know if that's really wise. There's the Purapad. Oh, it's so crisp. Look at that. It's a Nintendo Switch. Ah, that's my ringtone now. And I'm actually going to turn on Zelda notes right now since we're on the plateau. And I believe in the sky, Rauru is the one talking to you and not Zelda. How about that? And I'll be having to collect these other Zelda notes from Breath of the Wild on my own time. Hello? Okay, thank you for that. Tears of the Kingdom. Voice memories. Next. Connected. Let's go. Alright. I've watched a playthrough of Breath of the Wild long before I played it. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fine. I've got to experience it for the first time myself. Although, in all fairness, like, what got me to play Link Between Worlds, my first ever Zelda game, not favorite, but it's really good, was I watched about an hour or two of this YouTuber I used to watch, Kobanermani456. He was like my whole childhood on YouTube. He did, I don't think he ever finished it, but he did like a 3-hour like stream of it, and I watched the archive of it for like an hour, and I was hooked on it. Like, I hadn't played it yet. My dad bought it, and I watched that video, and I was like, oh, I gotta try this. And then I think I did the same for Majora's Mask. I watched him play about an hour of that. So yeah, that's one way to do it, you know? Get a little taste of it. I'm the opposite. I have to watch the game first. I mean, I guess if you want to know if it's worth your money, but for me, it's like, if it's a Zelda or Mario game, it's a no-brainer that I'm going to get it. Alright, apples, great. Bang. Ava, I didn't know you watched... I forgot you watched him too, I think. That's... Yeah, I mean, he's kind of... He hasn't posted in a long time. He's kind of gone off the deep end a little bit, unfortunately. But I still watch his older videos sometimes. Bang, bang. Look at these pots here. Okay, so I feel like since we're kind of getting into it, I want to talk a little bit about this video that I watched earlier. So first of all, I must protect myself. I understand, little guy. Your behavior is a threat. I'm sorry. And now we can use the scope. Look at that. Now, spoiler alert, Kate, and perhaps Kyle. This is Zelda. Kate, you watch my video. You know it's Zelda. Unless you just didn't process that. And that is very sad. Look, she looks like she's made of Play-Doh because she's not fully rendered yet. But I still love her. And here we go. We're going to dive yet again. Whee! Like a bullet. Hey, come here. Alright, so let's get to it, man. We're supposed to go to the Temple of Time? Yep. And meet the ghost of Rauru. Can I take pictures? No, I don't think I can yet. Hello. Is it worth it? Probably not. But I'm gonna do it, because what else am I gonna do? Gazelda. I beat most of the game. Okay, that's good. Well, what's holding you back, man? Beat the rest of it. Okay. So, there's this YouTuber that I've watched for quite a while. I actually don't know when I started watching him, but it was at the very latest, it was 2020. Because I have, look at these ugly looking things. Give me some chicken. Raw meat. Yeah, it's weird to me that those birds yield steak. I don't know what's up with that, but sure. I forgot about that. It's weird. So there's this YouTuber called Point Crow. Actually, he's primarily a streamer, but he posts like clipped versions of his streams, curated videos on YouTube. And I've watched a couple of his streams on Twitch. He's a very big streamer. But I got hooked on him in 2020 with all of his videos about... He would do these crazy mods in Breath of the Wild, like, and he would do crazy challenges like beating Breath of the Wild with only a stick. Yeah, he's great. Beating Breath of the Wild with only bombs, and he'd use like these crazy glitches and other... He's very good at speedrunning it as well. He does these He's almost like... Well, I don't want to compare him to Mr. Beast because I kind of despise Mr. Beast, but he's like the Mr. Beast of Zelda. He just does crazy stuff with the game. But anyways, he recently did a thing where he started a new file in Tears of the Kingdom. Actually, it might have been a file he was working on, but he wasn't that far into it. Oh my god, look how many sticks we have already. And he did a stream, where he did not end the stream until he 100% completed Tears of the Kingdom. Like, literally, he had people, I think, prepare meals for him. He slept on stream, and it was like days. It was like 90 hours of this stream until he 100%ed the game. Nuts. But of course, he took a lot of breaks in there, and one of these breaks... I roasted that. Well, what are you going to do with it? You don't have a mouth. And so one of his breaks, he watched this 3-hour video, and he got permission from the creator. Their name is Skitty Bitty, based on the Pokemon Skitty. And this, as I understand, this was the first video that they actually posted, or maybe the second, and it just blew up. They were a very small channel, and this video went viral. Now it has like 1.5 million views. It's called I Hate Tears of the Kingdom. right? Kyle says, I think I watched that. Yeah. So it's called I Hate Tears of the Kingdom. Now, I saw that video pop up in my feed a while ago, and I didn't watch it, because why would I? Because it's 3 hours long, and I love Tears of the Kingdom. So I didn't, and you know what? I respect people's opinions, but I just didn't want that negativity, you know? I was like, I love this game, and that's all that I need to know. You know, I don't need to hear somebody talk about problems that I've probably already heard people talk about for 3 hours long. Granted, Point Crow got permission from Skitty Bitty and watched this video on stream. I think Skitty even joined the stream for a while and... Oh, no, Raru, you gotta speak out loud. He's saying something. Please.
It was constructed in a traditional Zonai architectural style that extends both up into the sky and down into the ground. It was believed in ancient times that such a design could pierce through evil.
Thank you for that, Raru. Sorry, my volume was turned down. So anyways, look at this lighting, bro. It's so, this atmosphere is so beautiful, and like the soft, I think that's a saxophone, but just this more westerny feeling music. It's not purely piano anymore. Not that Breath of the Wild was purely... Oh, that's censor. Stop it. Let's get rid of that. I hate you. Why would they even do that? It's like constant. Just to let you know that it's on. But look at that. So I'm gonna let Raru do his spiel before I continue talking about this. But it's gonna be interesting because camera. No, Link, you cannot pass.
That door will open only to those with sufficient power. I'm sorry.
I love that lighting and that color.
It was I that spoke to you earlier. That arm originally belonged to me.
Well, it's
I am wrong.
crazy that it fits me. I am Raru.
Forgive me for appearing to you in this manner.
I mean,
Fortunately, I no longer have a physical form.
I'm no stranger to ghosts. Yay! Hooray! Yay!
That arm should allow you to open this door. It seems to have lost the power to do so.
For those who don't know, that's making fun of Yunobo in
Might be able to restore
the Divine Beast memory where he sees Daruk's ghost and starts shouting. You mean, oh, like over there?
Why not visit the shrines on this island?
Contrived? Who's that? Look, guys, it's contrived. That's what Zelda is, okay? It's like, hey, you need to go find this pinwheel that blew off into the surface. Oh, convenient, isn't it, that it's right there in a pile and didn't just blow into the ocean and get eaten by a shark. No, if you're going to complain about a Zelda game being contrived, you got to be consistent and complain about all of them. But anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. The closed door. Alright, so we can't get in there. Fair enough. Alright, let's go. What do I have? A freaking rusty sword? Alright, I need Fuse bad. I think Ultra Hand might be the first one you get. But it could be Fuse. I don't remember. Now, what was I saying? Yeah, I'm going to end up saying that a lot. Ah, no! Shoot, that was stupid, Link. Why'd you do that? Okay. So Point Crow reacted to this video. And Point Crow, I mean, look, he spent hundreds, if not thousands of hours across Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So if anyone loves these games, it's him. So I was really curious to see how he would respond to it. And like, look, the video is very well made. And it's hilarious too. Like I was kind of like I was unsure at first, but the humor of it really grew on me. Go watch it if you've got 3 hours to spare, or you can split it up. The Point Crow version was. Why are I saying yay? It's from Yunobo's cutscene in Breath of the Wild where he sees Daruk's ghost. It's after you beat the Divine Beast. All right, I'm gonna let Rauru speak here.
These rails are intended to transport materials, but they also supply energy through pipes. The Goron people make extensive use of this kind of mechanism. And I believe it is possible they modeled their designs on our own technology.
Oh, that's interesting. So the Gorons modeled their stuff off Zonai. Interesting. Yeah. Very well made video. And like me and Point Crow, as we were watching, it's like they make some good points, and it's all like, yeah, I mean, that's true. Like, and I'll get into specifics later, but just my general conclusion after watching the video is like, I'm actually not offended like I thought I might be. All of it's fair, all of it makes sense, and like I can pinpoint the spots that they're talking about and be like, yeah, that's kind of like this. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that they talk about. The low-hanging fruit, of course, is the repetitive like Demon King Secret Stone thing, the copy and pasted dialogue, like the weird narrative things that don't quite work, like that Zelda doesn't recognize Ganondorf, like when she literally spent 100 years fighting, holding back someone named Ganon, a pig named Ganon, but then a man named Ganondorf shows up and she's like, something seems off about him. Like, okay, yeah, that's stupid. You know, but my main takeaway is that I love this game so much that even agreeing with some of these points, it did not diminish my love. It did not give me pause, be like, maybe I actually don't like this game. No, that's not how it works. Like, and it almost reinforced how much I love this game. But of course, we're going to really find out when we play through it again. But let's address specific things that they talked about, and we'll address them individually. I kind of just said that already. And how I kind of think about it, either why, okay, it is Ultra Hand first. Thank you for that. Why it's either doesn't bother me, or it does bother me, but I'm able to overlook it, or something like that, right? So, okay, so here we have Ultra Hand. I'm trying to remember. Yes, okay, good. I think I remember. And we're good. It took me a while to get used to that whole, like, instead of magnesis where you can only really, like you have to tap it individual times to move it. I don't mind it at all. Like, you kind of get used to it. So let's kind of grab this one. And I think they want us to make just a long bridge. Secret Stone, Demon King. It's not What did I just do here? Okay, well, I said it wasn't annoying, and here I'm kind of messing up. So, one of the main things they talk about, which I guess I'll talk about here, is this concept known as ludonarrative dissonance, which is quite a mouthful. It's almost like the word penultimate. It's like, you don't need to use that. Just say, like, second to last. But anyways, basically what that means, the prefix ludo, I think, refers to a game. And so narrative dissonance, it's a lot, but it essentially means there's a disconnect between what you, the player of the game, so me, Miles Troxler, playing this game, what I want to do versus what Link wants to do as the protagonist of the game. Ideally, they should match up, right? So like what I, the player, want to do, or not necessarily want to do, but what I, the player, end up doing should match up with what Link wants to do in the game. Otherwise, you get this disconnect where it's like, okay, I know my character should want to do this, but I'm doing this other thing, so it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't really work. There's a great example I can think of. So imagine in Skyward Sword, okay? For those who haven't played Skyward Sword, it's one of the most narrative-driven Zelda games. You start off, you develop this relationship between Link and Zelda. They're close friends, and perhaps more than friends, but we don't really get to see that. They're kind of developing this relationship. Then Zelda gets snatched away. Link, very clearly, really wants to catch up to Zelda. And, like, they do a good job of making you, the player, really want to do that as well. So most players probably would anyways. But Skyward Sword is so linear that you don't have a choice. You have to do that. Even if you want to go just mess around and do other things, like, you don't really have anything to do until you do the next thing. You kind of have to go from point A to B to C and do the story. So there's no disconnect at all. That's why it's, I think, so powerful, is because Link very clearly wants to catch up to Zelda, and that's your only option as the player. Imagine if Skyward Sword was as open as Breath of the Wild, where Zelda gets snatched away, and the narrative is driving you, like, you've got to find Zelda, and then you can do whatever you want. You can go and do dungeons out of order, you can mess around and collect sticks or Korok seeds or shrines, or ride horses around or blow yourself up. You can do whatever you want. and you can go beat the game without covering any of the story if you want to. That would not feel nearly as satisfying. Now, I say that, and you think, oh, well, that's kind of what Tears of the Kingdom does, right? Like, you should really want to find Zelda, and yet you can do whatever you want. And honestly, like, I don't readily have a great counter-argument to that. Like, it is kind of true. This might be a weird angle, but I think one of the things that saves it for me personally is that this might be a weird thing to say, but that it's so confusing at times, the story, like not necessarily in a bad way. So it's all kind of coming back to me. I'm just going to use this not elevator here, but this little rail thing to do this. Here we go. Like, and I'm not going to lie, this might say more about me and how stupid I am, but when I first played through this game, I did all the story in mostly like the intended order. There's a couple things I did out of order. And of course they show you Zelda went to the past, and then you see this like weird Zelda phantom or ghost show up around the world, and she's obviously like kind of sketchy, right? Like you see her talking to Drug Lord Yunobo and then do weird stuff. Like you're supposed to infer, I think, pretty quickly that that is like Phantom Ganon. Or maybe you don't know it's specifically Phantom Ganon, but that it's some weird evil phantom. Hello, Ghost Raru. You're just chilling here? I like that. I never imagined they would continue to work. Escape Sky Island. I'm working on it, Kate. Thank you. Hello, Mr. Axe Construct. What do you call yourself? I unfortunately have to go see you guys. Bye, Kyle. Thanks for joining. No thanks. These are some cool stone axes. I don't have fuse yet, unfortunately. So I can't make my own. But, yeah, so when I first played this game, you can even see it in my stream. I got to the very end of the game, Hyrule Castle, where Zelda, fake Zelda, is making you... And I even saw the memory where Ganon kills Sonia, and then, like, it was disguised as Zelda, and then Zelda dissolves, and the real Zelda comes out, all that. I watched that memory, and I still didn't fully, like, put two and two together. I don't know why, but I was still like, this ghost Zelda that keeps showing up. I was like, maybe that is really Zelda, and she's just somehow appearing from the past to do something and then disappearing. Honestly, it makes me feel so stupid looking back, but that's where I was. And so when Phantom Ganon finally, like, turned into Zelda, or vice versa, I was like, I knew it! Like, I thought something was weird, and I'm just like, bro, am I really that stupid? That's obviously the answer. But I think it does speak to how even someone like me, like, I'm very involved with Zelda lore. I feel like I have a decent grasp on what's what, and like, cotton onto things pretty quickly. But the story is still kind of, like, all over the place in a way that I like. You can uncover the geoglyphs in any order. And so you're piecing together this story, and it still does kind of make sense from a narrative perspective why Link would want to do the other stuff as well before jumping right into the thing. It's like, you know, it does kind of fall apart when you have all of these things that you, the player, discover, and, like, seemingly Link should know them as well. Like, he's viewing these memories, and yet, like, none of the other sages get to know that. Like, Link never tells anyone about Zelda turning into a dragon, and they're all still wondering where she is, and he doesn't say anything. It's like, okay, you know, I get Link is silent and all, but it does kind of fall apart. But my main point, which for some people might be a weak defense, but what I'll say is that when you're playing a Zelda game, really any video game, alright, let's let Raru talk here.
On occasion, constructs have been observed forming a line as they wait for an available charging spot. More interestingly, some will give up their place in that line to allow constructs with a greater need to recharge first. Worried that everyone always acted with such empathy.
That's so nice. It's like, oh, I'm at 30%. Oh, you loser, I'm at 15%. Step aside. I've seen that squabble happen in my very house. And to think it could all get fixed by buying an extra USB-C cord. Maybe the constructs need to learn that as well. Oh, I love that map, bro. Click, 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 click. Anyways. Yay! Okay, that's enough. Alright, where am I going? I don't remember. Stop it, Jamie. We have these hover blocks, which I can use to get over here. What I will say, what I was saying before. when you're playing a Zelda game or any video game, you're gonna have to accept a sizable dose of ludonarrative dissonance. Because here's my main thing. Link is such a funny guy, right? And it's been memed for decades that Link likes to go into people's house like this and break all their pots. And he's like, if you really look at what Link does, like from the perspective, like what you, the player, choose to do with Link, he is a complete menace to society. He walks into people's houses, destroys their stuff, steals their stuff. Like, he walks around, he does whatever he wants, he blows stuff up, he goes around, like, does not communicate what he's doing to anybody, and he just does it. People are probably terrified. Like, if you look at it realistically from a narrative perspective, alright? That's what I'm saying. But Link is like a well-respected, like, gentlemanly guy, you know? And there are a few cases where, like, the world actually does react to what you do. Like, there's the rich guy in Wind Waker, when you break his pots, he actually, like, freaks out and makes you pay for it. And there's a couple other characters who do respond to the crazy stuff you do. But for the most part, you kind of have to accept that disconnect. Okay, I'm actually getting a little turned around here. You have to accept a little bit of that disconnect. You know? So maybe that's a weak defense for that. But honestly, I don't really have a great defense for it. I accept that. I accept that there's more dissonance with the narrative. And, like, it still doesn't affect how much it touches me. Like, it impacts me. So there you go. That's one complaint. Another thing, and now I'm struggling to, like, remember all the specific things just off the top of my head. What did they say? What did they say? They talked about... Okay, this is a big one. They talked about the Sky Islands and the depths, and how those sort of work as environments and what you do. And again, I have what people might interpret as a weak defense for all that. Basically, what they said is probably what you've heard a bunch. Okay, when you go and place that while I can see that shrine. You've probably heard this a bunch, right? The depths are repetitive and bland and boring and dark and gloomy and blah. And the Sky Islands are too sparse, too far apart, too repetitive. Again, like when I hear them break it down in this video, it all makes sense. I can't really like combat that because it's kind of true, you know? Oh Lord, here we have this forced Korok. I think when I first came across this, I thought it was a Kikwi, a Skyward Sword creature, just because it looked fat and with a leaf on top. I didn't see the Korok, but it's not a Kikwi. It's a stupid Korok. Yeah. I guess we'll do this, because why not? Yeah. And I do have a rhyme or reason to like where I'm going with this my entire response to this video. I'm just getting granular for a second. So, all right, come here, bud. And the Sky Islands are... Yeah, I already said all that. Here's my thing. I think the world of Hyrule works perfectly for what it is. And so do the Sky Islands, and so do the depths. Would I have loved to see more Sky Islands? Absolutely, because I love them. It would be so cool to have more. But honestly, the fact that they're more sparse kind of, in a way, makes it more exciting and more realistic. Like, the sky never feels too cluttered. And I don't think they were in any danger. They could have easily added more, and it still wouldn't have been cluttered. So I don't know if that's a good excuse to not add any more. I'm just saying that, like, to have them more sparse and spread apart, that's kind of what makes traversal in the sky somewhat tricky before you have a lot of energy cells or anything like that, is you've got to figure out a way to get up there. If you had all of these Sky Islands to just hop from place to place, it'd be a little easier. So that's one thing. Aren't there Sky Islands in Skyward Sword? Well, yeah, there are. There's the whole sky thing, and that was a similar complaint in that game. There you go, folks. You're here. Thanks for that. Bye. Was that they were too sparse as well. There wasn't enough interesting to do in the sky. Fair. Fair complaint in that game as well. So that's how I feel about the sky. I still love the sky and the fact that, like, there's still mysteries like this giant storm cloud, which where did it go? It's somewhere over there. It is right there. Look at that. You just see that. The Stormwind arc and the water temple in the sky. You know, I think there's enough very interesting there. The depths I have almost a completely different opinion about, and I felt this way for a while. I think the repetitiveness, the darkness, which they had a great point, okay? Hyrule has all these different biomes. You've got snow, desert, lava, grassy, and the depths is all kind of the same, with a few exceptions. I do very much hear that. I do. But I would argue that, at least for me, that's one of the strengths of the depths and what separates it from the surface. Because we already have the surface and it's great. But the depths, it almost takes the excitement of the surface and it concentrates it into these smaller bursts. What I mean by that is that there are moments in the depths that really shock you, at least they did for me, when something just looms out of the darkness. Like there was this giant Poe statue, which I talked about in a stream that I did, which is like my favorite locations in Tears of the Kingdom. And I talked about this, oh my god, how much health do they have? My long stick. So yeah, in my favorite locations, it's this giant Poe statue that you can see a while away. Well, you could, theoretically, but the depths are so gloomy that you can't. Like, it really looms out of the darkness, and I remember the first time I discovered that, and it was terrifying. Something like that wouldn't, because of how far you can see to the distance. And there's still some surprises, like an enemy might pop up on you, a Lionel, or something like that. Or something that's, you know, well obscured, that you just all of a sudden you see it. Get on the boat, Link, get on the boat. We got some Wind Waker action here. Look at that. Oh my word, this water, bro. Yeah, I know. Kate says my inventory right now is her average Breath of the Wild. Okay. Whoa. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I know this is a bit of a mess right now. I'm just trying to figure this out. Okay. Oh my gosh, bro. Alright. I don't know, guys. It's saying excellent right now. I think my... Oh my gosh. My Wi-Fi is really spotty right now. What's going on here? Kate, it's not your phone, bro. This is really annoying. Okay. Hey, Kate, are you hearing what I'm saying right now? No. Yeah, I don't think it's you. It's gotta be me. You hear me? Are you seeing it? Like, it's very delayed. Okay. Jeez. It's gonna be fun to rewatch. Okay. I'm gonna keep going. Yeah, thank you. And hope it'll come back. Can you see me moving around now and everything like that? In Issa Shrine? Yes? Going into the shrine. Okay. I'm going to press on and I'm going to hope the Wi-Fi comes back or whatever's going on. I don't know. But I can talk about this. So, I think the Sky Islands... Oh, I forgot you could do that. You could look at your dialogue history. The Sky Islands... I was talking about the depths. To me, the depths, whether this was intentional or not, I think it's so repetitive. Okay, it says excellent again. I hope it stays that way. The fact that it's so repetitive and kind of visual monotonous is part of what makes those little moments of like, oh, something looms out of the darkness that much more impactful. Like when you've come across a Frox or a boss that's in there, or a cool statue, and then it makes those like the fire temple in the depths is so cool to me and great. What it's doing this again. Hey guys, if I'm still having issues after this. Kate's on mobile data right now. It's still cutting out. Yeah, it's because it's me. It's not. Okay. Well, this is not how I wanted to end this today. But I think I'm gonna have to end it right now because it's just being so stupid. And maybe that's better for me to get to bed on time. I think on this archive on my hard drive it should be fine since it's not relying on internet, but the stream on YouTube is going to be spotty. So I don't know how much of this outro you're going to hear on YouTube. I'm going to type in chat, have to end stream early. Internet is super spotty. I'll be back tomorrow night. And we'll hopefully have more time. So there we go. End stream. Sorry guys. Peace out.